Good morning, my dear students. In this video, I will start from the nucleus. Nucleus, it is very important part of the cell. My dear students, the nucleus functions are very important to understand. It regulates and coordinates various life process of the cell. Clear? So it regulates the whole cell. And very important part, it plays an important part in cell division. Nucleus play very important part in cell division, and this nucleus also contains the genes which determine heredity. Clear? These are the three main functions of nucleus. Clear? First, it regulates and coordinates various life processes of the cell. Second, it plays an important part in cell division. Third, it contains factors, means genes, which determine heredity. These are the three main functions of nucleus, which you have to learn. Clear, all of you? Now further we shall discuss the structure of nucleus by a diagram. I will explain the structure of nucleus by a diagram. Just see to this diagram. All of you must see to this diagram. Nucleus, this is the diagram of nucleus. The nucleus is surrounded by nuclear membrane. This is the nuclear membrane. Clear? Nucleus is surrounded by nuclear membrane. It is a double layered membrane, my dear students. Then in the nuclear membrane there are certain pores. You can see these pores. These are certain pores. These pores are known as nuclear pores. So in the nuclear membrane there are certain pores like structure that are known as nuclear pores, and inside the nucleus there is one round solid body. This is known as nucleolus, which helps in protein synthesis. Next, my dear students, some liquid substance is being filled here inside this nucleus. Some liquid substance is being filled inside this nucleus. This is known as nucleoplasm. We call it as nucleoplasm. Like in the cell, outside nucleus, we have cytoplasm. Same way, inside the cell, inside the nucleus, there is nucleoplasm. So liquid like substance, the liquid gel like substance which is filled inside nucleus, that is known as nucleoplasm. Clear? Then in the diagram, my dear students, you can see some thread like structures are present. These thread like structures are known as chromatin fibers. These thread like structures, they are known as chromatin fibers. And during cell division, my dear students, these chromatin fibers, they get condensed. Chromatin fiber gets condensed to form the chromosomes. And my dear students, the chromosomes, they usually carry the genes. Chromosomes carry the genes or hereditary material. Let us understand it in detail now. Clear? So this is the structure of nucleus. Further, let us see. Yes, my dear students, further I have discussed that during cell division, chromatin fibers, they become thick and ribbon like, and these are known as chromosomes. So just I have already explained what are chromosomes. During cell division, chromatin fibers they become thick and get condensed, clear, to form the chromosomes, clear. Now there are two types of cells, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Cell in which nuclear membrane is absent is called prokaryotic cell. So in the prokaryotic cell, my dear students, the nuclear membrane is absent. Next, further you can see eukaryotic cells. That was prokaryotic. Next, eukaryotic, in which nuclear membrane is present. The cell in which nuclear membrane is present is called eukaryotic, clear. In which the cell membrane is not nuclear membrane is not present, that is prokaryotic, and in which the nuclear membrane is present, that is eukaryotic, clear. Then my dear students, you can see this one, nucleus contain one nucleolus, and this nucleolus participate in protein synthesis of ribosomes. So nucleus contain one solid body nucleolus, clear. I have already explained by the diagram, which helps in protein synthesis. Next, my dear students, number of chromosomes. You can see the number of chromosome in human body cell. There are 46 or 23 pair of chromosomes. Like that, many are being given here. You can see in the table. S carries 2 chromosome, garden pea 14, onion 16, maize 20, honeybee 32, lion 38, mouse 40, wheat 42, humans 46. In humans, generally it is asked in the exam. Potato 48, chimpanzee 48, monkey 54, dog 78, sugarcane 80, crayfish 200, and some insects may have more than 1000. Next, my dear students, just see to this one. The chromosomes carry genetic character. Chromosomes, they used to carry genetic characters from parents to their offspring through the union of egg. It means female and sperm of the male. So chromosomes, they used to carry the genetic material from parents to offspring. Clear, my dear students. You see that many characters of our body, they look like our parents, clear. So that characters are transmitted by the help of chromosomes. Next, my dear students, just see to this one. Chromosomes, they are made up of chromatin fiber, which is composed of hereditary units called genes. The hereditary units are called genes, clear. The hereditary units, they are called as genes. Next, you see that genes are made of complex chemical substance DNA. DNA is genetic material, clear. So genes are made up of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. So hereditary units are known as genes. Next, my dear students, we'll discuss further about the cell organelles. Already we have discussed. Now we'll be moving to the next topic. Next, my dear student, you can see here plant cell and animal cell diagrams. Already I told that these diagrams you have to practice in your notebook. Some of you might have drawn also. So all the students must draw the diagram of plant cell and animal cell. Now we have certain differences between plant cell and animal cell. Let us see to them. See here, all of you, onto the table some differences between plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell wall is made, it contains cell wall which is made up of cellulose. Animal cell does not have cell wall. In plant cell, centrosome is absent. In animal cell, centrosome is present. Next, vacuoles. In plant cell, you will find one or more vacuoles, one or two vacuoles only, and they are of large size. But in animal cell, you will find very small vacuoles of small size. Next, plastids. Plant cell contains plastid, animal cell do not contain plastid. Then if we see the size, plant cell is larger size, animal cell is smaller in size. In the plant cell, cytoplasm is not so dense. In animal cell, cytoplasm is very dense. Then arrangement of cytoplasm. Only a thin lining of cytoplasm is present in plant cell, and in the animal cell, cytoplasm fill almost the entire cell. So these are some of the differences between plant cell and animal cell. In notes also I will give this question, difference between plant cell and animal cell. Clear? So just go through it now, then afterwards I will be giving the written notes as I am giving you. There I will discuss this question also, difference between plant cell and animal cell. My dear students, the next topic which we will discuss is protoplasm. Protoplasm means the total living content in the cell. My dear students, the cytoplasm and nucleus, this together can be called as protoplasm. The cytoplasm and nucleus can together be called as protoplasm. So let us see now the definition of protoplasm. Clear? Let us see the definition of protoplasm. See here the definition of protoplasm. It is the total living substance of cell. This is important. It is the total living substance of the cell, that is the cytoplasm and nucleus. So it is the total living substance of a cell, that is the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Clear all of you? Total living substance of the cell is known as protoplasm. Next, definition of the cell we have already discussed. Now we will discuss the prokaryotic eukaryotic cell once more. These are the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. As I have discussed earlier, prokaryotic cell does not contain nuclear membrane. So nucleus is not well defined. But eukaryotic cell contain well defined nucleus with nuclear membrane. So some difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell is being given, that you have to see. First one, you see, nucleus is not well defined. In the prokaryotic cell, nucleus is not well defined, but in eukaryotic cell, well defined nucleus is present. Then second point, you see, single length of DNA is present. Here several length of genetic material will be present. Then prokaryotic cell will contain small ribosomes. Eukaryotic cell contain larger ribosomes. Then in the prokaryotic cell, cell organelles are absent. Cell organelles are absent. But in eukaryotic cell, you will find cell organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, chloroplast, etc. So my dear students, these are some of the differences between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. See once more. Prokaryotic cell, it does not have well defined nucleus. Eukaryotic has well defined nucleus. Prokaryotic cell, second point, a single length of DNA is present, and here several length of DNA. is present. Prokaryotic cell, it has got small ribosomes. Eukaryotic cell, it has got larger ribosomes. Larger ribosomes. Prokaryotic cell, no other cell organelles. It means cell organelles are absent in the prokaryotic cell. In eukaryotic cell, several cell organelles are present like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, chloroplast, etc. Clear? These are differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Next, my dear students, we will have just a glance of the last topic of this chapter. Every activity of living organism is the outcome of cellular activity. This topic means that every activity in the cell or every function in the cell is performed by the help of cells. For example, see the first point. In the case of growth also, all organisms grow, they increase in size. How they increase in size? Because of the number of cells. Number of cells increases, so the growth of the body takes place. Clear? Next, my dear students, for the repair, during the repair of injury also the cell division takes place. Clear? So, during growth cell division occurs, during repair also the cell division takes place. Next, my dear student, for movement several muscles are required, and those muscles, they are made up of cell. You can see in animals there are muscles, contractile, these muscles are made up of contractile cells which helps in the movement. So, movement is also brought about by the help of cell. Next, you can see feathers which help the birds to fly, they are also made up of cells. Clear? Feathers which helps the birds to fly, they are also made up of cells. Next, my dear students, the drooping of leaves of sensitive plant on touching, like we have got chui mui plant, it means touch me not plant, that is a sensitive plant. So, drooping of leaves, that is also due to cellular activity. Next, in plants, bending movements of roots takes place towards gravity, all that is the activity of the cells. Next, my dear students, opening and closing of stomata. Stomata, they are also guarded by guard cells. Opening and closing of stomata depends upon guard cells. So, my dear students, for all these activities the cells are required. It means all the activities are performed by the help of cells. Next, my dear students, you can see other examples, feeding and nutrition. For feeding and nutrition also several organs are required. Those organs, they are made up of tissues, and tissues are made up of cells. Clear? All of you got understood this one? So, for feeding and nutrition also the cells are required. Next, circulation of blood. For circulation of blood, the muscle cells of heart play important role. Contraction of muscle cells of the heart. In the circulation of blood, you can see contraction of muscle cells of the heart. Clear? Next, respiratory gases, they are transported from the lungs to other parts of body by blood cells. So, blood cells helps in the transport of respiratory gases. Then seventh one, you see, body protects itself by disease causing germs through white blood cells, WBC. So, this WBC, they provide immunity. White blood cells provide the immunity to fight against the diseases. So, my dear students, by this topic what we understand? Then next see some more examples. We see, hear, smell, taste or feel. All these activities, they are being done by the help of cells. Then thermoregulation, it means maintaining the body temperature. Clear? That is also the cellular activity. Next, all organisms produce their young ones. In this also the cells are being required. Next, my dear students, 11th point, in plants, the absorption of water and nutrients is through root cells. Light is trapped by leaf cells containing chloroplast. Flowers attract insects by their color contained in the cells of petals. So, these all examples I have shown just at a glance. From here we understand only one thing, that every activity is a cellular activity. Every activity taking place in an individual, in a living being, is a cellular activity, Clear all of you? So, you must understand from this last topic, you have to understand only one thing. Every activity in a living organism, that is done by the help of cell. Mango seed. See next point, mango seed produce mango plant. Hen sac produce hen. Clear? So, all such are the examples of this point, last topic of this chapter. Here we finish this particular chapter, but further, as I have provided some of the notes of this chapter, further from the next video onwards, I will just provide the notes for this chapter. Clear? And then this chapter will get complete. So, thank you very much. And when you get the written notes, my dear students, just write in the notebook. Clear? Because that will help you out. So, thank you very much, my dear students.